Welcome to another video with McForce. So this is the third video of me explaining a bit more how to integrate Salesforce to AWS to Datacloud. So in my first video, I demoed on how to send a PDF document to AWS, and then that unstructured data is then sent to Datacloud. My second video, I showed how to set up the first step to send the PDF document to AWS in a S3 bucket. So my next video, what we'll be doing now is show you how we're going to set up basically the part of how the document is going to be sent from AWS into our Datacloud instance. So there's a couple of things that we need to first of all do. There's a couple of prerequisites. Like in my second video, I showed you how to set up the S3 bucket, the IAM user, the access key, and the secret key. And then, very important, you can't do this without these tools. We need the AWS CLI, JQ, OpenSSL, and I recommend using Git Bash to run the commands. You can do it on other tools, but I did it on Git Bash and it works pretty well from there. Okie dokes. So the first step is probably the easier part. If we go into our Salesforce instance, we need the connector so that it connects to our S3 bucket. So let's just click onto Datacloud Setup, and then you're going to search for connectors, click on other connectors, and you're going to click on new, search for S3, next. Right, connection name, you can give this anything you want. So we can call this S3. The AWS access key and secret key, those ones that you copied somewhere, you're going to paste them here. Your bucket name, the exact name of your bucket. So that will be, let me just drag this here. All right, this will be this, exactly this. You're going to copy this in here. All right, and then parent directory. If it's in the root directory, with other words, there's no folders or anything, just put in a /. You're going to click test connection, and if these are correct, it will say connected or something like that. Save, and then you've got your connector. Cool. Then you're going to go back into your Datacloud, click on Data Lake Objects, click New, from External Files, Amazon S3. You're going to search for your collection. This is the connection that we just created, so you're just going to choose that. Very important. The directory is basically where in the bucket it's stored. Now, because we keep the documents, the PDF files in the root directory, we also put in a /. Very important. In the file name pattern, because we're only using PDF files, you will say star dot small cases PDF. Next, this is the object name of your unstructured data lake object. I'm just going to say test, and then the object name, this is the unstructured data model object. All right, so probably good practice to keep them the same name. Next, very important, keep this ticked, because what this is doing, it's automatically going to create your search index for you. All right, and what that search object does, or the search index does, it will automatically create or transcribe, and the most important, it's going to divide the CV document into chunks so that it can search in those chunks, and also the index, right? And then you click save, and then that's created. So what it basically created now is the data lake object, the data model object, as well as your search index. So you don't even have to go and create a search index. It would have automatically been created. All right, once we are done with that, now comes the fun part. Let's go to our document. Right, now, right, we will be creating certificates so that we can paste them in our external app that we also going to create. All right, so I have created a folder on my desktop called Certs. If I open this, you'll see it's empty. Okay, and then you will then let me just quickly check. All right, so the easiest thing to run commands from this object is to right click so that it's directly into the terminal. You can or don't use this terminal. You want to rather use your Git Bash. So you're going to click on more options and click on open Git Bash here. That means it's open on your search, on your certs. Okay, so what we first need to do is generate a private public key pair. So there is a command. Let me just quickly get that command. And it is this command. The annoying thing is you can't say Control V in Git Bash. Doesn't paste anything. It just does that. So you have to right click and paste. Old school, right? Enter. Right, and our next one is this one here to create the digital certificate. I'm just going to copy this and right click and paste and enter. Now, yeah, you just type this in, quite straightforward. I'm just going to say it's a state or province. I am from Ting. City, Pretoria. Organization, force, organizational unit, let's say tech. I mean, this doesn't really matter too much. And then the server name or your name, I'm just going to say Desmond, and then email address at gmail.com. Enter. All right. So, in theory, it should have created two certificates. This is your security certificate and this is your key pair. Okay. Next, we create the PKC S8 private key. So we're going to copy this. paste and enter, and let's check now. Now we've got our 3 certificates. Okay. So yeah, we've got now 3 certificates. Next, we need to create our external app, previously connected app. So we're going to go into Salesforce. Let me just open up. This is the normal setup, and say App Manager. And new external app. Okay, from here we need a name. I'm just going to call this AWS. Our contact email. This doesn't really matter. We're going to jump to our Oauth settings. Enable Oauth, very, very important. Callback URL. This is the URL, or at least what you will find from my domain. So go to my domain and get that there, but just add in the HTTPS for the OAuth scopes. Very important. Manage user data via APIs. We're going to add in what else? We're gonna add in perform requests at any time. Let me just search perform requests at any time and manage Datacloud ingestion API. Just these 3. Don't add in anything else. Otherwise you might break. Okay. We're going to enable JWT bearer flow, and this is your certificate that we created. Just drag and drop it in there. Right. And then that's it. You don't need anything else. You can just click create. Okie dokes. So we're gonna just click on this edit. Start page is OAuth, and then OAuth policies. Rather choose admin approved users are pre-approved. I'm going to add in the system administrator and permitted users, OAuth start URL. This is again our my domain URL. I'm going to paste in here, and we want to refresh token is valid until revoked, and we want to relax these IP restrictions, and that is it. I'll save it. Okay, dokes. All right. Next, let's just check here. This is good, and that is good. Fantastic. Okay, so next, what you want to do is click on settings, open the OAuth settings, and click on consumer key and secret. Okay, you're gonna get an email with a verification code. And just copy that in there. And then you will receive a consumer key. So just copy these over to your notepad, and a secret key. Okie dokes. Let's go back to Lightning. This can probably gonna take me home. Quite annoying, I know. Cool. So that is it for our external app. Our next step is to authorize our external app. So we've got this URL. What you need to do is you need to put your my domain URL in here, same one that you've pasted as an endpoint in your external app. Your consumer key, this is from your external app that you copied from your external app, and then the same my domain URL you're going to also put in here. Right. Once you have done that, you're going to take that URL and copy it into your browser. So what it's doing, it is authorizing your app, okay? And you can just confirm by going in. Let me just go in. Here we go. Okay, so let's go into Oauth usage. And you will now see that your app user count is 1. That means it is authorized. If it's not been authorized, user count would have been 0. Okie dokes. So next on the list, let's see, we need to download some files from GitHub. Okay, let's just quickly do this. Okay, so we need this lambda function.zip and just download it, and then go back, go into installers, AWS, and we just need these 2 files. So the input parameters, download, and the file notification. We don't need this because we're not in the our region is not in US. Download. Great. So I would advise that we maybe create another folder, and we will call this AWS Setup, and we can just put those files in there. I'm just going to drag all the files that I've downloaded in there. Okay, so next step, we need to update our input parameters. This step is quite straightforward. My advice is to do this in Visual Studio Code. You're just going to basically update these. Most of them are straightforward. There are a couple of them that I'll give some advice. First one, I mean, straightforward. You literally just copy in your username. Login URL. This is this is just the normal Salesforce login URL. And the same goes for the SF audience login URL. I don't know why it's there twice. Your AWS account ID. So the place you'll find this is if you go into your AWS, you click on your name and it's this ID. And you can copy that in here. The region is the EU West 2. You will put in your bucket name, the event source key you leave blank, because this is if you have a like if that's in a folder, so you just leave that blank. The Lambda function, you basically hang on, event source key, yeah. The bucket Let me just check this Lambda function key bucket. So this is for your Lambda, what you're gonna call it. So you can call it something like, whatever. Let's say just like S3 Lambda code, for example. Or in my case, it is CV S3 Lambda code. And then the key to that, just put in Lambda /code. Okay. The source code local path. So this is basically where the zip has been saved. In my use case, it would be in, so this is my other one, but let me just put this in here. In my, it would be literally just AWS projects, projects, setup, right? Setup, right? Lambda role. You need to give it a unique name, any name, as long as it's like obviously just there's no gaps in between. You will give a function name, same. You can put anything in there. The consumer key or the consumer name, you can also give this a name again, like it's not just something that's going to be unique across like your AWS account. And then the consumer key, this is the consumer key of your connected app. So the one that you copied earlier, your RSA private key name. Again, you can give it something like a unique name. And then the path is, where is your .pem file? So mine would be in my certs folder. So I can just do this. My certs folder is in here, and I can save this. Okay, so next step, there are a couple of things we need to update on our installer script. I had some issues, and the first one was with the AWS access key. So if you just go in and search for access key, I made a couple of updates here, and the reason what the issue was, you don't actually need this because the permanent IAM user's credentials doesn't have session tokens. The next thing I did, I got an issue with the region EU West 2. So I updated it to this, and that's just because, I mean, it said the region is invalid, and obviously we know it is a valid reason. Maybe it's a bit of a hack, but I made it to work, so it's all good. So you just save this again. Our next step is to basically run the script, or at least first of all, we will export our credentials. So if I just go into here, I'm just going to copy this. Easiest is, again, you go to the newest folder that you created, and open with your Git Bash. right click, paste, and enter, and it will export it for you. Just obviously put in your AWS access key and your secret key and also your region, right? Once you've done that, you are then going to run the actual script. Copy this and paste. I'm not going to run this because what this is going to do, it's going to be asking you a couple of questions. Have you created your connected app? Yes. Have you added a config API credentials? Yes. Have you downloaded the source code? Yes. And running the script will create blah, blah, blah. Yes. It takes a while. There are 16 steps on here, but it should run successfully. After it's done that, you can go and just, check a couple of stuff. So go into your AWS, check, let's go to our S3. So it would have created your Lambda code. It would create a bunch of roles. It would create the secret manager. If we go and check the secret manager, it would look like this. And then, yeah, you can go and test it. And the way to do that, if we go back to S3, I'm just going to duplicate this tab. Go into your storage. Okay, so from here, what we want to do, let's just duplicate another one and search for Lambda. And you've got this Lambda code that we created. And then from here, we click on monitor. Right, I'm gonna go and find a file. I've got a Michael Pittman. Okay, I'm gonna go into some straight from the bucket. This is the bucket where I saved my PDFs, right? And then upload. Okay. This does take a minute or two to actually update. So let's give it a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go along in my Datacloud and check if it's in here. So we go to Data Explorer. And data model and CVR storage. And we are looking for Michael Pittman. Not yet. Let's just refresh. There we go. So here's Michael Pittman CV. So if we go to our Lambda and refresh this, it's not yet picked it up from here, which is weird. Let's just do a big refresh. There we go. Okay, so count, there's one, so 0 errors, 1 success, but the cool thing is our async events received 1, and that's most what we really looking for. So yeah, that's about it. If you've got any questions, if you're struggling with this, please reach out. I will try to post like literally all the steps in the description of this video. So yeah, let me know what you think. It took me some time to figure out and modify everything, but finally got it to work. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers.